Good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the Hunter or indeed around the world. You're on Bar TV Sports, thanks to Top Better, as if semi-finals in the PlayStation 4 National Premier League's Northern New South Wales continue. It's a big afternoon at Magic Park, the clash of the traditional rivals, Broadmeadow Magic hosting Hamilton Olympic. Always a lot on the line when these two teams clash, but in particular this afternoon for Hamilton Olympic, they'll be seeking some sort of retribution for their season so far. Went unbeaten through the premiership season, but still couldn't come up with that trophy. So an opportunity for them for silverware. For Broadmeadow, not just the silverware on the line in a couple of weeks' time, the grand final, but also that they still haven't beaten Hamilton Olympic since back in 2013. So definitely pride for them to play for as much as anything else. We'll go through the starting 11s for this afternoon's fixture, starting with the host Broadmeadow. It'll be Nicholas Hartnett in goals, Josh Piddington, the captain, Luke Virgili, Matthew Houle, Peter Haynes, Michael Finlayson, John Griffiths, Michael Kantorowski, James Virgili back from injury, Cal Bradbury and Jaden Barber, the starting 11. The bench will be Benjamin Higgins, Adam Duggan, Paul Sakawe, Lawrence Fotef and Bradley McKenzie. For Hamilton Olympic, starting Daniel Bird, Kyle Hodges, Kane Goodchild, Simon Mooney, Andrew Swan, Reece Cooper, Leo Burtos, Matthew Swan, Cody Lucas, Thomas Spencer and Tom Pullen. And on the bench, Ben Coyner, Josh Small, Luke Rutledge, Daniel Eisenhower and Matt Miners. I'm Daniel Herrero joining you for the call for this one alongside our regular pundits here at Bar TV, Chris Turner and Damien Smith. Good afternoon, gents.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So we get underway now. We'll get some thoughts for you on this one. Are you looking forward to a big afternoon?
Oh, firstly, I'll say we need to appreciate the conditions of today. It's beautiful weather. Ground for this time of the year is in great shape, and we're expecting a very exciting clash. In terms of how it's going to shape up, there's a couple of interesting, notable absentees today. One of them, Shane Paul from Broadmeadow Magic, and Danny Ireland's not in goals today for Hamilton Olympic. And also Jacob Bailey's out with a knee injury he suffered a couple of weeks ago. So there's plenty to talk about there as we get fairly physical early and two players down immediately. Looks like Swan and Damien.
I think Swan and Barber, they just clashed heads there, it looked like. I agree with UTC. I love battles like this. This is a crosstown rivalry. It's going to be very tight. I think it's going to be intense. It's an intense start already. But for Magic, they're the home side. They don't want to concede today. Very important away goals. So as we seen yesterday, Edgeworth having a 2-2 draw with Maitland and 2 away goals to Edgeworth has probably put them into an advantage position. But just on the game, like you said, also Grant Brown, who's been a regular in the back line for Olympic, is out on yellow cards. But Magic, welcome back James Virgili after about 3 or 4 weeks layoff. But as we just witnessed the Diaz and McGregor fight, TC, as we know, Josh Pennington loves McGregor, so I'm putting the key performers out here today is a Diaz versus McGregor version 3 in Goodchild and Pennington. I think that's going to be the key for the game today.
Yeah, it's perfect, Smudge, and I think that's about what it's going to be, especially if that first clash between those two is anything to go by. It's just shaping up. You mentioned before the rivalry between the two clubs, the history and what these two clubs do. They're ready immediately, as we see within the first 30 seconds or so, put their bodies on the line, and we can expect plenty of that this afternoon.
And sorry, just on that fight, McGregor won in a points decision, so I wonder if that's an omen for Piddington today.
So we'll get back underway now. Pretty willing opening to the fixture. Some tackles flying in from all sorts of directions. Michael Kantorowski on the ball at the moment. Shifts it over to his captain, Piddington. We'll see if that frantic opening keeps up, or maybe if it just starts to settle down as Goodchild puts some pressure on the keeper. As you said there, the UFC stash. Of course, Goodchild securing the golden boot again last weekend. Second time in 3 years that he's done that. Here's Virgili on the attack now. It's broken up. Can't clear the lines though, so it's Finlayson. Magic just trying to work an opening. It's come to naught. Here's Burtos. He got away with impeding the free kick just before we had that stoppage. I'm surprised with that referee played on, but certainly Burtos in the way there. It's lumped forward. Dealt with by Piddington for now. Up and under finds Simon Mooney. So Swan moves it for Bertos, who'll go himself from distance. It's easy pickings for Hartnett.
Just looking at the two sides, looking at their shape, Magic going in with a 4-4-2, sort of like playing a bit like a diamond or three deep and one in front is Haynes.
The chance for Vigili. The ball comes over. Blue shirt in the way. Mooney heads further, clear now. Real battle in the midfield. Kantarovski again. Goes central. Too many bodies in the way, so it's Mooney that will try and bring it out. Goodchild is allowed to turn and run at the defence. Still Kane Goodchild. Ran out of options in the end.
Yeah, great run by Kane. But yeah, just going back to the formations, Magic playing with a 4-4-2, sort of three deep midfield with Peter Haynes in front, where Olympics going with a traditional 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. So, in essence, Olympics probably going to have the extra number in midfield, so it'll be interesting how the midfield pans out today.
Yeah, we mentioned before that the situation with Jacob Bailey's out, so that makes way for Reece Cooper, and you know what? He'll be looking for a big game today. He's going to step into some big shoes there. The combination between Bailey and Bertos has been, Bailey's been the workhorse, and he's good at getting the ball in short places and dropping it off to Bertos. Bertos moves the ball around the park really well. Often he's like their playmaker. So if that can be done the same with Reece Cooper today, he's going to do a great job. He needs to work very hard and get Bertos on the ball as much as he can for Olympic to be successful. So while we've got a free kick, Smudge Animals at home. My brother Animal is a first-time viewer last week on Bar TV. He's sitting at home in the sun. He's living about a kilometre away, and thought it might be better to sit at home and having a couple of tins on the veranda soaking himself up. What are your thoughts on that?
So you wouldn't fork out the $10 to pay to get in?
Well, yeah, I think that. We'll come back to that in a moment.
Haynes to take the free kick. He goes direct. It's all the way through to Pullen.
Well, it's a good option, isn't it? Bar TV, be able to sit at home, and he's got his laptop set up, and he'll be sitting on his veranda like a grandpa, just enjoying the afternoon, Smudge.
So here's Bird. Just laboured on it just then. Bertos comes up with it. He's pulled to ground. Maybe, in fact, the free kick's gone the other way.
Yeah, Olympic not happy with that. Just on Tommy Pullen, who's standing in for Daniel Island. He's got a big game today. He's had his first touch, which is good. He'll probably get confidence out of that. So I'll be interested to see if Magic try and pepper his goal a bit.
He's had a settler. Bertos now. Attracts the attention of his opposite number, Finlayson, who does well to dispossess.
We saw the last time these two teams played, it was about 3 to 4 weeks ago, Smudge. The ending in the last 2 to 3 minutes particularly was just end-to-end football, very exciting. And these two teams will go right the whole way today. Expect nothing different.
Yeah, great to see. I was here with Ben, and that was just the most entertaining game of the year. It was just fabulous. From a coaching point of view, they probably wouldn't have enjoyed it too much because the game was so open. There was so many chances. But I think expect the same today.
Hool with a long ball will try and pick out Vigili, who does chase it down. James Vigili on his return from that shoulder injury. He won't quite take it into the area. It's with Kantarovski now, who goes on his own, unbalanced, and it skims the crossbar on the way through.
And a great strike from Kantarovski. Why not pull the trigger from there? He's certainly within range, and hitting the crossbar, if it's probably a couple of inches, it may have hit the underside and gone in. But gee, there's not much in it when that one's been pulled out. I think the battle between Piddington and Goodchild is one, Smudge, that I'm really looking forward to this afternoon. Both very strong and physical players, as you pointed out before. According to the UFC, that's the reference, and that's probably what we're going to see this afternoon. But they are both very skillful. They're both very seasoned and they both understand the game well and they fit in their teams well. So I'm really expecting a big one out of both of those. And another one expecting a big one out of is Simon Mooney. He's coming in looking pretty fresh today also.
He's Goodchild using his strength to make a passage down that flank. It is Piddington that's in the way now, and then Luke Virgili. We get a goal kick out of it.
And this is Goodchild and Piddington blow for blow, punch for punch here. Look at them going at each other, niggling already. Piddo just dropped a little elbow in, just let him know he's about, and he's not going to be pushed off the ball today by Goodchild.
You fan of the dark arts, are you?
Not really. It was just on the TV when we came in, and we got a bit excited, didn't we, TC?
It's a lot of excitement down in the clubhouse when I got here. Here's Mooney, and then Goodchild again. He tries the return. Mooney hooks it across. Wow. Jaden Barber was just in the way and just managed to lift it over his own goal. So first corner of the match will go the way of the visitors, Hamilton Olympic.
Yeah, it was well played by Hamilton. I like the forward run by Simon Mooney, which went beyond the strikers, and he was able to get a ball across. And, yeah, Barber was under a bit of pressure, but he got it away safely.
Bertos will swing it in. He'll look to pick up a run. A Goodchild's just in that arc at the moment. Plenty of red shirts in the area waiting to pick them up. It's going to be difficult to deal with. Piddington does. Mooney now the snapshot. Didn't quite catch it. Bertos will try and recycle here. Instead, he goes all the way back to his centre-half partnerships. Kandarovski keeps it in, but it's an awkward ball. Puts Virgili under pressure. Now it's Piddington. Goes the direct option to find Bradbury. Now it's back with Hoole. It's been turned over. Spencer. Still Spencer. We'll try and find Bird.
What a wonderful ball that was over the top. Perfect touch, Smudge, and created great opportunity that just went wide or just slightly over. It's opportunities like that can change the game, would you say?
I definitely agree. Sorry, and Spencer, I like the way he held the ball, waiting for Reece Cooper to get nice and wide, lobbed the ball over the top, and it was well defended by Johnny Griff to read the play.
Mooney this time out to the flag to knock this one over. Header comes back across the area off the head of Hoole. It's dealt with the second time. Back to Mooney. He doesn't quite manage to beat Barber and instead concedes the free kick.
Mentioned Mooney before. He's in for a big game today, and just that competitive spirit that he's got, and he's just showing it right there in that tackle. He doesn't want to give anything away. This game has got all the makings for a great semi-final. And as you said before, Smudge, you know what Broadmeadow Magic need to do this afternoon is keep clean sheet, and you know, if they score, all the better. But they definitely would love to go up 1 or 2-0 today. Would you say?
Oh, you always want to win at home, but the importance of a clean sheet is vital for Magic today. So even if it's a 0 or draw at the end of the day, even though I know Virgili and Newmoff will want to win, it's their home game, but keeping a clean sheet will give them a lot of confidence going into next week.
It's Griffiths on the ball, and then Piddington now. Fires it out to Luke Virgili. Hoole and Kantarovski. Can't fashion anything from that. That's a nice flick from Spencer. It's going to set Cooper free at the moment. Now he looks to find a teammate. The chip is misdirected.
You could see Cooper was looking for Bertos there. Bertos half in two minds which way he was going to go, and he just decided to sit as Cooper was hitting the ball. So anyway, chances are going to come, and we've got opportunities coming as we get a free kick for Broadmeadow, who have taken it quickly.
And that goes quickly to Virgili, who looked to get a ball over. He does. Has not cleared yet. Barber deflected, and it'll be a Bradbury rather than be a corner.
Yeah, well defended by Olympic, but I was just going to say, just prior to that, TC, is that Magic will be looking to get Bradbury and Vigili into one-on-one situations. They got pace to burn. That's how Magic scored their goal last time they played Olympic here. Vigili skinned the defender, crossed the ball into Bradbury. So that's what I think Magic will be trying to do, is to isolate Vigili and Bradbury one-on-one with the Olympic defender.
Hull hits it deep. Keeper's been taken out there, so it will be a free kick.
Yeah, that's right, Smudge. They definitely going to be two. We've spoken about Goodchild at one end, but the other end, you know, in the two that we've just mentioned, they are both exceptionally talented. Vigili, great to see him back today, and Bradbury, you know, he's capable of scoring anytime, anywhere, and his pace and his ability to turn and shoot is as good as any in the competition. So, you know, it's at both ends that we're going to see some exciting football.
It's Bird. He picks up Andrew Swan.
Just on that, you know, Kyle Hodges has been fantastic all year, and Cody Lucas comes in for Grant Brown. So those two are going to be busy all day with the strike power of Magic.
We go quickly, and the shot from distance from Spencer comes to naught. It's Mooney that's come up with it. Spencer and then Bertos. They move it wide. It's back for Mooney into the area. Has the attention from two. Piddington makes the tackle in the end.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, Mooney, but well defended by Piddington and Griff.
Barber brings it up. Not quite on the same wavelength, so it's Bertos with a chance to counter. Bertos will try and burn for pace.
Just going
Barber
back on
does
Kyle
enough in
Hodges,
the
I'm
end.
loving his new haircut, or whatever they call it, out there. Obviously, he wants to keep the captain armband and take after his coach, Michael Bolch, with the skin head.
Well, he's certainly given his head a polish, hasn't he? And it doesn't look too bad for Hodjo there. He's doing all right.
Haynes with the switch of play. Finds Vigili. It's a beautiful ball. To James Vigili. Bird comes up with it now.
You've asked James Vigili. I'll be going on the outside. It's too many numbers on the inside, so he could really burn people on the outside. That's the way I'll be going if I was James Vigili.
Barber knocks it across. It's over the head of Bradbury.
And the ball that was played in there by Peter Haynes, he has that ability to pick people out at long range, and there's not too many players in the competition that can do that as consistently as what he does, and he's just shown a perfect example of that.
Well, here's a chance. Hartnett had to be out quickly. The
Look,
back pass was not nice for him.
That's two times. Piddington was, his touch there was perfect. A ball he played about 3 or 4 minutes ago out to the left-hand side to, I think it was Vigili. He played it with authority. He's right on his game today. You can see it. His touch has been phenomenal.
Just bouncing around at the moment. Hamilton Olympic trying to deal with it. Mooney. That's Goodchild. And there's the aforementioned Hodges running the slick aerodynamic package. Spencer. You know I'm a motorsport nut as well. Bird now. Opposite side of the field. He cuts inside, but he's shepherded back.
And the same with Bird and Mooney. If they can get themselves in one-on-one situations with the Magic defenders, they could be very dangerous. They're very good at one-on-one, taking players on.
Spencer's done well there, and Mooney now has it. He looks back to safety. Bertos, under pressure, does well. Back to Hodges.
Yeah, well played by Olympic. Nice and calm, playing out from the back. Got the extra number in.
Tackles are flying in again.
Look, there's been a huge amount of turnover early in this game, and that's just an indication of the way the desperation is in semi-finals football. And I think the team that gets on the ball and stays on the ball for longer periods will create some more chances, because at the moment these little flicks and jinks that are going on are not really the way I think either coach would be really happy with just now. Magic's in position now, in good opportunity, good field position to build on some play, and what they should hopefully do is hold the ball for a little bit longer than what's been happening. As I said, that's probably a key just to settling right into a game like there's such importance of this.
Haynes now has a chance into the area. He'll look for a ball to set up. It just broke down there, not quite on the same wavelength. Bertos turns. He's got no one ahead of him, though. So in the end, he'll go back to Swan.
Just going back to what you're saying, TC, totally agree. I think both teams, they just need to get into a rhythm, get a few touches on the ball, get their shape organised. Both teams organised defensively, but attack. They just need to, be a bit more calmer on the ball and get into that rhythm. And even then, there's another easy turnover.
Yeah, and it's typical of, the league where we're just so desperate and keen. We're forcing it. We're forcing.
There's a chance, Bird, and then back to Goodchild. Piddington, great tackle, composure in the area, snuffs out the danger for Gilly now.
And Smudge, it's typical of when you've got a lot of energy in your group. You want to. It's a good way to expel some energy by forcing things and making play go very quickly. As guys, sort of catch themselves. They run their bodies into the game. They'll start to knock the ball around more, and the shape of the two or the formations of the two teams. You'll see how that's going to balance off. This is at the moment. It's still in the early stages.
Strong header from Piddington. Haynes looks to release Bradbury. Inside for Hoole. The ball was into the area, but Hodges was in the way. Kantarovski now looks for Vigili. He'll do well to keep this in. He does. James Vigili.
Yeah, that was well defended by Swan. Used his body. Peter Haynes just telling Nash he wasn't overly too happy with that call. Just on the game as well, the weather's quite warm out there, so I'll be interested to see how both teams adapt to the hot weather, because obviously the weather is warming up, and we have been playing in winter, so the game is probably not as a fast pace as I expected, to be honest.
Kantarovski leads with the feet there. Got away with it. Bertos is shielded from the ball. Now out to Vigili and Haynes. He tries the return. Vigili again does well. He beats one, but Hodges is in quickly. Knocks it out of play.
Not seeing too much hesitation from Vigili, Smudge, after his shoulder dislocation. He seems to be straight back into the game, back in the rhythm, and you'd think nothing's happened.
To be honest, he's got a good range of motion, good strength, but still unstable as well. So he's probably coming back a week early, so I wouldn't be surprised if Olympic given him a bit of a nudge as well. So I know he's got it heavily strapped by physiotherapist Tommy Russell, but he seems like he's growing with confidence.
Yeah, I certainly haven't noticed that he's been guarding it or just looking after it. He's been putting himself out there.
Mooney brings it down. And then Vigili makes the tackle, so it'll be another corner for Olympic.
Just on that battle between Vigili and Mooney. Played together at Magic, good mates off the park. That's going to be a great battle today. One of the premier left-sided defenders in the league against one of the stronger right-sided attackers. So it's going to be a great battle today.
Bertos has been taking the corners from both sides of the park. This one will have a bit of left to right swing on it, hoping to glance something in.
Brings it in, Bertos. Oh, Goodchild was onto it. Vigili was in the way. They'll have another corner.
And that's an intentional spin on the ball to do exactly that. The ball's already moving in the direction of the goal mouth, and Goodchild, if you get anything on target, it's already got some momentum on the ball. He'll be looking for something the same. He may go a little bit deeper and look for the likes of Swan on the back stick.
Finally got it to sit in that arc nicely. It's back in. It's short for Mooney. Strong header.
Very noticeable. Nick Hahn at the goalkeeper can barely see with the sun in his eyes. As you can see, his hands above his head, shading his eyes. So I'd be sort of whipping it in to test him out to see if he can actually see.
Speaking of which, he's done well there. Has Hartnett to pick that one out of the sky.
I thought you were taking the mick there, Smudge, from a few weeks ago when I said the sun was in the players' eyes when it was on the other side of the park. I wasn't going to say anything.
So he picked me up last time we called together when I mixed up my left and right. Meanwhile, it's Haynes.
Yeah, I'm full of details.
And then James Vigili. Still going. Oh, it's a good ball in. But a good header away as well. And Luke Vigili lashes it in. Bertos was in the way. And now Olympic will try and counter-attack. This is Daniel Bird.
What I've noticed earlier with Magic, when they're attacking, they're not getting too many numbers forward. They're keeping their 3 at the back. So they make sure they don't get... make sure Olympic can't transition too quick and catch them out. So obviously they're here not to concede any goals.
Matthew Swan couldn't get that out from under his feet properly. Playing the combination with Mooney. So it's all still a bit tight, nearly 25 minutes down now. NPL Northern New South Wales finals on Bar TV Sports thanks to Top Better. Hodges hits that one. It's only as far as Matthew Houle, who initially shaped for Vigili again, but instead finds Barber in space. Rebounds for Griffiths. Vigili couldn't squeeze that one through. Spencer now for Olympic. Just got Goodchild in front of him. Now finds another option. It's found its way to Goodchild now. And he does find Spencer, who does really well. Tommy Spencer taken down there. Referee was fine with it.
Great challenge by Johnny Griff in the box. It was a dangerous area. Just on Olympic as well, they're not committing too many numbers forward early on either. So I think both teams are playing it quite safe just at the moment till they settle into the game.
Good tackle from Houle, but then he makes a heavy touch and Bertos comes up with it. Now Olympic will attack again. Daniel Bird, though, runs into Griffiths. Bertos has it again now, and with Cooper. And Andrew Swan. Spencer again, who plays Andrew Swan, the cutback, only as far as Piddington. Shouts of handball. I think that was off the chest, though.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly what you're right in saying there, Smudge. And either end of the park, as you're saying that, I was looking at there's numbers at either end and very skinny through the middle. And that's a case of, guarding your own territory.
Exactly right, TC. And the other thing is, like we said yesterday, you want to take the game into game 2. You don't want to lose a tie after the first round, or after the first game, do you? So both teams have been very cautious.
Because what both coaches are going to be saying to their teams here is that we don't want to give any goals away. No goals away. So look after your own third, look after your own keeper, make sure the defenders aren't under pressure where they don't need to be. The message would be, don't give any goals away.
Of course, it was Hamilton Olympic with the stingiest defence during the premiership season, just 13 goals conceded. Next best being Edgeworth. They had to pick the ball out of their own net 19 times. It's Matthew Swan now. He finds Goodchild, layoff for Bertos. Can't quite bring it down off the chest. Kung Fu action from Vigili. We saw the UFC earlier. We're continuing the martial arts theme. Spencer, little flick. It's not going to trouble the keeper.
Better play by Olympic. I like how they try and give the ball up, play 1-2 off Goodchild and have runners beyond. That could cause the Magic defence a few issues if they continue to do that.
Griffiths brings it out. Vigili knocks it over. There's no one on the end of that, so Matthew Swan will just take his time with it. He's picked up Mooney, who goes to switch a play. Goodchild's waiting for it. Griffiths does just enough, makes a nuisance of himself. And back to Hartnett. Damien Smith alongside me just grimacing at the bounce that took and the uncertain touch. Matthew Hoole.
I noticed earlier Vigili starting to drift a little bit wider, trying to get one-on-one with Matt or Andrew Swan. And even if you look here, Magic's got their 3 defenders at the back on Goodchild. So obviously they're here not to concede any goals. Normally in a situation like this, you might push one of the fullbacks, Oliver Vigili or Griff, off just into that hole so they can pick the ball up. However, they're definitely keen to lock the goal up.
Yeah, it shows you.
Oh, Portland's misjudged that. They will get away with a goal kick.
Shows you how much respect they have for Goodchild when they're doing that. Normally, you're exactly right. You'd push one on and have 2v1 at the back and be happy with that. But they're not doing that. They're going to get one to intercept and then one to come in and effectively sweep. So they don't want to give this guy any space because they know what he's like one-on-one. He consistently just gets half a yard, gets his shoulders in the way, gets his elbows in the way, muscles a metre, and then puts a shot away on goal.
Where do you stand on nil all draws at home in a 2-legged tie? Hartnett's done fine there. Is that a good result or a bad result for the home team?
To be honest, I think for the home team, not too bad because you haven't conceded away. And then all the pressure goes to Olympic next week, the home team next week, not to concede. Or obviously if Olympic win at home. But you know what? Semi-finals is a different kettle of fish. You look at Edgeworth has convincingly beat Maitland twice this year. And yesterday was a hard ask for him. Mainly because it was semi-final football and the weather was quite windy and the ground was bumpy, but it was tough for them yesterday, and they got a 2-2 draw. But obviously they'll be happy with the away goals there.
Yeah, speaking to Damien Zane after the game yesterday, and he said, "Well, all he's got to tell his players next week is don't concede, and we go through." That's how it works.
Mooney brought it down well. Goodchild off the standing start, does get it. Snapshot, just dribbles through in the end, and Hartnett collects.
I think if Goodchild had his time again, he might have taken a touch, dribbled it forward into the 18-yard box and have a strike on goal. It was about 30 yards out there. Would have made it a little bit difficult.
It's a sweet ball from Hoole.
That's why he was shaking his head when he completed that.
Vigili the ball across. I'll have a corner. There was a clash as well in back play just then between Hoole and also Mooney. Tangle of legs maybe. Only just caught it late. Of course, Hoole is now running over to that far corner to take this one.
And that's where Goodchild is at his best, Smudge. You know, in that situation right there. So he will be disappointed about that, and maybe the next one he's not gonna be so quick off the mark to pull the trigger. He'll take another touch or two, and then look for a corner to pop it in.
Broadmeadow taking a different approach. It's a crowded area. It's not a bad corner. Spencer maybe headed that one back out. Vigili will look to put it back in the mixer. He does. Header from Kantarovski is always going wide.
Boys, I've got a trivia question for you.
Go on.
Hamilton Olympic have won the grand final 6 times. Broadmeadow's won it 7 times. I thought I'd just add that. It's got nothing to do with the trivia question. Who was the last coach to coach Olympic when they won the GF? And what year?
Well,
I can give you the year, I think, because I checked this before I came here. I can't give you the coach. So
you give the year and I'll have a crack at the coach.
All right, I'll give you the year. I think it was 2012.
I'm not running with 2012. And I'd say the coach was Peter McGuinness.
Funny enough, it was in 2009, and the coaches was Bobby Newmoff and Robert Vigili, who are coaching Magic against Olympic today. And the team they beat, I think it was 2-1, was Phoenix, and the coach was Michael Bolch. So that's actually quite a funny stat today.
Love you see you doing your research, Smudge. It's Fantastic.
You got me there. Yeah, Hamilton Olympic actually won the premiership in 2012, not the grand final or championship. That one, Pullen was down well. It was probably just going past the post anyway. Not a bad effort from Finlayson.
Yeah, good turn from Finlayson, and then good strike, and Bradbury got a good half turn in to create the opportunity. So these guys are going to be tough to contain up front, and Olympic needs to be very careful with those two, as we mentioned earlier.
Generovski fairly thumps that. He put it right on the feet of James Vigili. He's running at the defenders. He's beaten a couple. He's beaten a few. Referee waves that one away. There's definitely contact.
We're just going to get Damien Smith's just going to go and have a look at the replay there. But from here, you'd think the Magic fans have got a reason to be a fraction disappointed with that. It's a referee's call, but he certainly looked impeded in his run towards goal, and he certainly, his next step was one that was going to be hitting the ball. So
Yeah, it was a tough call.
Damien sits on the fence. I'm going to say that's close to a penalty, but that's the first glimpse from a distance.
It looked like he did get checked. However, the check was only probably minor. So yeah, it's could be a good call by the referee. Hard one to pick from this distance, and from the replay was hard to pick as well.
Some heat coming into this one again now, and certainly Olympic not happy that some of those challenges are being allowed to let go, although we'd argue maybe the referee's being at least consistent. Kantarovski, and then Piddington lumps it forward. Finlayson will take the throw. It's Bertos and then Mooney. Goodchild rides a couple of challenges. He's done well there. Has Kane Goodchild. Options left and right. He goes left. And that will be the opener for Hamilton Olympic.
Kane Goodchild, that was absolutely brilliant. The way he used his body position to get past Pennington, I think it was Michael Canner, dribbled the ball forward and placed Bird, and Bird finished it well. Great goal by Olympic.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, this is the ability of Goodchild. He's held the ball up. He was under pressure. He had 2 and 3 guys on him. He's held it, taken an extra touch, draws someone to him, and then the ball that he plays in the path, that goal is all Kane Goodchild, and a good finish in the end, taking Hamilton Olympic 1-0 up.
As we see the replay now, Goodchild does well, and then Daniel Bird super composed as well to tuck that one away. Gives Hamilton Olympic the lead, and a vital away goal to boot for the Warriors.
Just on Daniel Bird's finish, just looking at the replay, that was a great finish. He's chipped that over Harnett. Harnett was flying at him at his feet, and he calmly chipped it over Harnett. That was a great goal by Olympic. And there's Goodchild at his best, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say it was a good finish. I didn't realise he chipped it over Hartnett, but that finish, yeah, don't underestimate that one either, because he's still got a job to do. And to be honest with you, Smudge, I was having a look at the carnage left behind by Goodchild when the ball was hitting the back of the net. So, yeah, terrific finish by the look of that as well. Well, this is going to fire up Broadmeadow for sure now. If they weren't fired up before, here we go now. And what they need to do is understand that there's a long way to go in this game, and not to get too frustrated by that. Olympic, on the other hand, the more they get on the ball now and start to play in this area, and, the top end of the third as Bertos gets a free kick, the better off they're going to be.
That was quality by Bertos. He had nowhere to go. He just sucked Finlayson in for the free kick and just gives his trips a bit of rest.
That's the experience that he brings. Of course, played in the World Cup for New Zealand, 56 caps for the All Whites. Goodchild again, holding it up. But the layoff was nowhere near Bertos in the end. Hodges back in the mixer. Mooney. And then Bird, the goal scorer. Bertos. There's plenty of room to cross here. Goes short instead for Bird. He still comes up with it. Finlayson hits it clear. Matthew Houle nods it down, but Cooper swoops. And Piddington is strong with a challenge.
I think what Magic just need to be a little bit careful is when the Olympic midfielders rotate and also do forward runs beyond, they're not tracking their runners, which is causing a few issues. And you've seen Burdos before just running in that left-hand side. So, sorry about that. So, yeah, so that's where Magic just need to be a little bit careful. They need to track their runners in midfield, get a little bit tighter.
Haynes.
Great ball by Peter Haynes to find Vigili.
Vigili. It's not a bad cross. Bradbury. Touch takes him away from goal, though. He's got Matthew Houle, though, just inside the area. He'll go on his own. Pullen did well. May not have quite seen it clearly, but he was down comfortably. Chest pass from Spencer, don't mind that. Good child. And Bird, it's that combination again. Wins a throw in for Olympic.
Smudge, did you have some of those little chipolatas down there before the game?
Yeah, they are absolutely delicious. A little bit spicy, but absolutely delicious.
You think I just tasted them? I think I just got your second repeat. But anyway, it would have been better the first time.
Here we go. Here's Bird again. Running at the defence. Pass for Mooney. Mooney turns well and goes himself and just hooks it. Enterprising play, though, from Simon Mooney.
Yeah, and enterprising is the right word there. He certainly created something out of really nothing, and it wasn't too far away, hitting just wide of the post. Just while we're on a bit of history that you mentioned before, Damien, there's a little bit of history about this ground that a lot of people may not be aware of. This ground used to be an airport, well, certainly a runway, and it was something in the vicinity of 1928 that the ground was surveyed to put a runway in to be Newcastle's airport. And as you may see on the screen here, there's a photograph of my father in a Tiger Moth aeroplane. I'll just pull this up. He's in a Tiger Moth on this park.
We're trying to get it up at the moment. He's Bradbury, who'll go the shot, always rising. He was unbalanced.
So this runway was put together between District Park and this ground that we're on, and that's where the runway was actually being used as an airport, and that went right through. And you'll see a photograph of this on the screen of my father and animals there. He's sitting at home having a look at this. He'd be loving it. And that went right through down into 1963 when the airport was relocated. So great bit of history on this ground, and there's been a lot of teams flying high, as plenty of planes do.
That's quite impressive research there, Chris.
Also of note, Charles Kingsford Smith used to stop here in Newcastle on his trips up from Sydney up north.
Spencer. Tangle gets free, ball across the face. No one on the end of it, though. And a let off for Broadmeadow.
Well, that sounds really good, Chris, but I've never heard of him.
Well, we spoke about Animal before, my brother. He thinks I've got the signed photograph that was given to my father, which, by the way, I haven't got. And just to finish on that, the airport was relocated to Rutherford in 1963.
The one that did skydiving out of these days, out of Rutherford?
That's correct.
An old schoolmate that worked there once. I probably won't go with that story on air, actually. Meanwhile, it's Griffiths.
just while that ball runs out, that photograph of my father there, Smudge, that was a plane Tiger Moth that he built with a friend, Cedric, can't remember his surname, who lived in Nambucca Heads. And the school holiday trips up north used to always involve going to every airport and going to see old Cedric. Unfortunately, they've both passed on, but this seriously, this area between District Park and Broadmeadows field here at Wanderers has been a great airport for a long time in the Newcastle area for those younger viewers.
Just on the game's gone into a bit of a lull in the last few minutes. I think this would suit Olympic for sure. Just to wind the clock down, get to half-time, regroup. But I think Magic need to regroup at half-time as well, and just probably just lift the intensity a little bit.
Finlayson draws the foul from Spencer, I believe it was, who's just a bit too eager.
We spoke earlier about how both teams wanted to sit in and look after and be a little bit protective, and you can see now there's sort of just the two, Piddington and Griffiths, sitting deep, on their own at the moment. So you can see a definite change in tactic, that they're going to get a little bit more aggressive, and at half-time you'd expect Vigili and Newmov to be talking to their teams about the importance of this game, the local derby and the grand final on the line, Smudge.
Agree, and I think I'd like to see Magic use a bit more width. Try and push Barber on or Vigili on a little bit more. Try and get him nice, high and wide.
That one's gone central instead. He's Finlayson. He try and play Vigili in, but Swan gets in the way. Finlayson again, heavy touch. Hodges, and then out to Bertos now, and Olympic do enough. I'll just put it anywhere at this stage. Final minute of regulation time in the first half. There's one for Barber to chase down. Can't quite keep it in play.
Yeah, the game's actually very much populated in the centre of the park. I'd like to see either both teams use the width and open the space, because it's so compacted in the middle of the park, so it's really hard to play your 1-2s through there. The ground is a little bit bumpy as well, so it makes it more difficult. So look, if you look, I don't know if you can see on camera, but if you have a look, everyone's within that side of the pitch.
Yeah, totally agree. It's so congested, and I guess from Magic's point of view, they do need to, as you say, open it up, as we see Vigili come right out on the left-hand side. But even still, we'd like to stretch it more.
He's found his way through to Bradbury, and now Finlayson, and they'll have a late corner. Bertos, that was, just getting down in the nick of time.
I was also going to say before, I'd like to see Finlayson on the ball some more, and I'd also like to see Bradbury getting into being played into some channels some more. By that, I'm meaning through balls, because he's got the pace to burn. And Olympic are looking a fraction flat at the back, so there's the opportunity to slide something in behind them.
Chance deep into stoppage time in the first half for Broadmeadow. It's not a bad corner, but it's straight on the head of Spencer. Vigili will try and recycle now. And Bertos takes it off him.
We saw earlier we had 3 at the back for Broadmeadow, and now we had 1. So to give you an indication of the way the game's changed.
Here's Cooper.
Mooney right side.
He goes the other way instead. Finds Swan. On, cleared off the line. Luke Vigili rather. That is outstanding.
Oh, that's a sign of a quality defender, right? He stopped their team from going in single-handedly 2-0 at half-time. He read the play, got there early, and got himself in perfect position and read the shot. And there's not many guys who'll be able to do that. Hats off to him as we go into half-time, Smudge.
Oh, I tell you, Reece Cooper did tremendous there. But to tell you what, Luke Vigili saved the tie for Magic. 2-0 down at half-time, be very difficult for them to come back, to be honest, and that's 2 away goals. However, Luke Vigili saved the tie at the moment.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Good child, had a first-grade half. So has Mooney. Piddington's been fantastic. Vigili's been back in the game. Look, there's been lots of good plays in the first half, Smudge.
We'll get another look at that in just a moment. It looked for all money like they doubled the lead. Here is the replay. So he beats the keeper. He's done so well there.
Oh, look, that's a goal in any day of the week, and he's saved that one single-handedly, as we mentioned before. And look, the summary of the first half here, Daniel, is that, it initially came out pretty quick. It's been very, very fast, and then it kind of, as Damien said, it slowed a little bit, and then we got a goal from Olympic. And right now, I think Broadmeadow Magic have got to be feeling very, very lucky that they're not going in with 2 away goals, as you said. And right now, the coaches are in there going to be having mixed emotions. Michael Bolsh is going to be saying, all right, we should be 2-0 up, guys, we won. So this game's got a long way to go. And Virgilia and Newmorf, they're going to be on the other side of things saying, well, hang on, you guys, you think you're out here today for anything other than a hard game, you got other thoughts coming, because from their point of view, they'll need to emphasise the discipline in defence and then also the purpose in attack, Smudge.
Yeah, agree, TC. I think Magic very lucky to be going down like just 1-0 at half time. But in saying that, they had a maybe a penalty shout as well in the first half. But overall, I think Olympics shading it at the moment and probably deserve the 1-0 lead.
So at the break on Bar TV Sports, brought to you by Top Better. In this first leg of the second semi-final tie, it is Broadmeadow 0, Hamilton Olympic 1, half-time. Welcome back to Bar TV Sports, brought to you by Top Better for the second half of this National Premier League Northern New South Wales semi-final tie. It's the first leg at Magic Park. It's Broadmeadow Magic hosting Hamilton Olympic. And the halftime score, it's the hosts that are down 1-0. Daniel Bird with a clever dink in the 36th minute, putting Hamilton Olympic in the lead after some great hold-up play by Kane Goodchild. Could have been 2 right at the end of the half, if not for a goal line clearance from Luke Vigili. So we're just about ready to start the second stanza. Chris Turner is alongside me at the moment. What are you looking forward to second half?
I think this second half is going to be probably a little more open in terms of the chances. So expecting a lot of opportunity, things to open up. I don't feel like this first half has given us a lot of build-up. There hasn't been a lot of possession. There's been high turnover. So I expect this half to see a few more opportunities than what we did in the first.
Damien Smith's also back now, and he's got some thoughts, I'm sure.
Yeah, just talking to both coaches. Rob Vigili not very happy with the first half. He thought their closing down in midfield needs to be better, and closing down in wider areas need to be better, and just use the ball a bit better in the front third as well. For Hamilton Olympic, Mick Bolt's very pleased with his side, and I would be as well. They're on top. They're overloading the midfield really well, but he said we just need to take our chances, remain nice and tight, and obviously not concede a goal.
See Tom Pullen with the hat on for the second half now as well. So, of course, we'll have to deal with the sun from the side that we're on.
Just when I was out in the field talking to the coaches, I just looked at Daniel Bird's eye, and the clash with Barber in the first minute was a pretty physical clash. His eyes nearly closed up with a bruise over his eye. So, to be honest, he's lucky seeing now, I think, his left eye. So
he still certainly had an eye for goal. We saw him with the beautiful finish in the first half. I didn't know if I was going to go with that or not. I was trying to think of something to do with birds and eyes, but I had nothing. Pullen comes up with it. Yeah, but he's still been heavily involved in this game and certainly a threat for the men in blue.
Look, I think as long as you can run and your vision's not impaired, you're just going to stay out there, and I think that's the nature of semi-finals football. But I was just going to mention Tom Pullen before. He's coming in the team to replace Ireland, and he played first grade all last year with South Cardiff. And coming off the bench when Ireland got injured with that ankle that you thought was a knee smudge, but it was actually an ankle. Do you remember that?
Yep.
You are the physio, right? Yep. So. Yeah, so he's now, as he's readying himself now for anything in the semi-finals and finals if required. He won't be overawed by this situation because he's played first grade football before, and sometimes if you're going to bring in a 23s keeper or a younger, it might be overawing him, but not this fella.
Just on there, that's what Vigili wants to be tighter. That was too easy for Olympic to play out from the back, way too easy. They need to close them down in midfield and make it hard for Olympic to play out. Magic just not doing it at the moment.
See, Broadmeadow have started the half with certainly a level of aggression, or at least some niggle. And Bertos responds in kind there, gives away the free kick. Looks like no changes at half-time for either side. No, Damo's just shaking his head, so confirming that.
Yeah, no changes either side, but I'd say there'll be some changes obviously throughout the game. If I was Magic, I'd probably change the shape just a little bit. I'd probably throw Peter Haynes up the top, put him as a central number 9 right up the top, let him come into play, drop off and get the ball. Just change the shape. Probably go to more of a 4-3-3.
Matthew Houle will look to pick out ahead in red. He nearly does. Hodges, though, not sure he knew too much about it in the end, but he did enough, and it's out for a corner.
Just quietly, Hodges, I think he knew exactly what he was doing there. That was a flick away. That was an absolute brilliant defensive header. Great. And a great ball in by Matty Houle as well. Put Olympic under all sorts of pressure.
So Houle will have another go from the set piece, this time from the corner.
Yeah, what I was saying before, if things aren't working for Magic, I'd probably change their shape a little bit and go more of the traditional 4-3-3.
Oh, it's not bad. It's in. And it is Peter Haynes who squares it up for Broadmeadow.
Oh, isn't Peter Haynes dangerous from there? What a turnaround this has been. Magic has been on top. Sorry, Olympic's been on top, and Magic's come in and just gone over the top with a header from Peter Haynes. He's shown his authority inside the box and put them right back in the game. And how quickly things turn around. If that goal goes in that was right on half-time, they're 2-0 up and it's a different scenario. Now we're 1-1 and Peter Haynes, he'll be very, very happy with that execution right there.
Get a replay of that in just a moment as we get back underway again. Here it is. It's a beautiful header right in off that far post.
And you must say that was a tremendous ball in by Matt Hurl. But no one jumped with Haynes. He was free.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like we've seen that so many times over the years with Peter Haynes where he's just come up with the big goals at the right time, and there's another example of it.
So Broadmeadow Magic, of course, they've conceded the away goal, but with the tight lease level now, they're back in business and a chance here for Virgili. Andrew Swan, quick enough to just put that one out of play, but they smell blood to Magic.
And back in business they are too, and we've spoken about, in other weeks what momentum means, and Magic right now have got plenty of it. Michael Bolch, if he had any hair, he'd be pulling it out because he should be feeling like they're 2-0 up. They've been on top. They've worked hard. They've won the midfield battle. And now there's a shift of momentum, a shift of pace, and Magic are now threatening. And look at the numbers. Before, where they had at the back, they were looking after Good Child 3-on-1. Now they've got 1-on-1 and possibly Finlayson just sitting in shadowing in front of him. Different story right here.
Who delivers again. Piddington was up high, but he gives away the free kick. But they're up for this now, and the crowd is up as well. You might be able to hear it. They've certainly raised their voices at Magic Park.
Look, we've got a great crowd, and you can feel the energy that's building up around this ground right now. And the Magic faithful are definitely knowing that they're right back in this one, whereas before it looked a little bit shaky, Smudge.
Yeah, agree. And I go back to Luke Virgili clearing the ball off the line right at the death in the first half. That's saved the tie for Magic. And now Peter Haynes has come up with a header. So game on.
It's Good Child. He's been tripped by Griffiths, and first booking of the game.
Look, that's a tripping there. That's a professional foul from John Griffiths. He knew exactly what Good Child was on there, and it was going to turn the game again. So now we've got Swan, we've got Haynes, and we've got this incident here. How many of them are going to be? I'm not sure in the half, but this is what semi-finals is all about. And we saw it spice up a bit earlier, and it's spiced up again now.
Yeah, if you're going to say that's a good foul, it was a very good foul because Good Child was 1-on-1. I think with Pennington, it would have been an interesting battle there, but that's where Good Child's at his best. 1-on-1 with plays, attacking the goals. So in the end, Johnny Griff will be happy to take the card, take the foul.
Leo Bertos to take. Looks like he'll look for a head. He does, but it's Piddington's that he finds. And then Andrew Swan will try and recycle. He finds Bird, the opening goal scorer. Breaks down now. And Haynes. Oh, Bertos does well just to hold him up and allow Olympic to just retreat enough.
That one's just come off the top middle or slight right side of Haynes' boot and slid out, and you can see what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to the other side of the park and he just couldn't get it there. Some penetrating football from both sides. It's where it's getting a little bit desperate. Smudge, again, you can see the desperation for both sides.
Houle plays a good ball over. Virgili, they've got numbers forward. Again, Haynes off the chest. Tries to chip.
Look, if he brings that one down, if it drops better for him, and potentially it was a handball, not quite sure, but if he did and it drops to his feet, gee, Smudge, he's back on again, yeah?
Oh, and great ball in by James Virgili. But yeah, Pete Haynes very unlucky. I thought it did touch his arm, but he missed the goal anyway. So, yeah, like you said, it's all about momentum. Momentum at the moment in favour of Magic.
Matthew Swan might have thought the same because it's he that was called over by the referee for a talking to, so we presume that was for some form of dissent. Pullen gets us underway again. Finlayson flicks over for Houle. That's a strong challenge from Matthew Swan. And now it's Spencer. Combining with Mooney again. And then back to Spencer. And the cutback, it's across Bertos. Bird's at the far post, though.
Oh, and that's another great effort. And we've seen Bird score from that position similarly in the past. And so You know, he's had someone inside him, inside him there to block the shot, but perhaps a touch inside might have been the go for him. If he looks at that one again tonight, he might make a different option. But Bertos back on the ball. Corner kick.
Played central. Oh, Hartnett didn't quite get onto it.
Oh, look, there's so many close shaves going on here at the moment. And as I said before, right at the start of the half, expecting some opportunities to come, and here they are, and it's like a flood smudge.
Agreed, TC. The thing with both these sides, when both sides push forward, they look threatening. They're very hard to stop. So there's going to be more goals in this, I feel.
Griffiths gets it second time. Hartnett was trying to eat up some metres with the goal kick. To Hodges. Made hard for him in the end, but he's taken it off Finlayson. And now Finlayson comes up with it. Beats one. Jaden Barber. Can't get it past Swan. He'll have another go. This time he can't get it past Cooper.
It's sometimes like that. Virgili will be wishing he had a dead boot, if that makes sense, just to kill the ball. It just bounced off him and went straight over to Pullen.
Tries for handball again, but not heeded. Piddington knocks it long.
Good communication from Hamilton. Good talk amongst the players. They're certainly buzzing at the moment. They need to get back their noses in front. Mooney back on the ball.
Great ball.
Seem to be looking a lot now too for that that kind of slide rule pass for Virgili now in this second half, I've noticed as well.
Both sides showing more intensity in this second half. Both sides desperate for a result here today.
Haynes has come up with it. I thought he only got player, but referee says it's fine. Lucas has work to do, so Swan helps him out. Spencer, oh, that's a hack. Kandarovski's been involved in a couple of those already, and now he is going to see a yellow ticket. A bit of afters again as well, but it's a clear foul for mine. So that's 2 in the referee's notebook now, John Griffiths and also Michael Kantarovski. None for Olympic so far.
Both teams looking very businesslike at the moment. They're just wanting to get on with it. They both want to play. Every player wants to know about it.
Here's trouble. Here's Bradbury. And then Hoole. He looks the ball over. Hodges meets it. Just a bit of pinball in the middle of the park at the moment. James Virgili will try and bring some order to it. Still James Virgili going for the box. They clear their lines just enough, but Hoole comes up with it again. And now it's Bradbury. Bradbury still straight at the keeper.
And great save there from Pullen. He's certainly pulled one out there, and he's got his body over it well. Best thing about that was it didn't deflect back out into traffic. Look, this is anything but pretty football right now, but it's fairly effective because it's just all adrenaline, it's energy. The guys are just grinding out something, opportunity, half little touch here, there, just to create a little bit of space so they can get a shot on goal. And this sums up semi-final football, doesn't it?
He's Bird now. And then Mooney. Virgili gets a foot in. Mooney still with it though. Now Cooper. No way through. It's hit long, although Bradbury mistimed his run. Had to wait. Swan takes a throw into Cooper. Through to Goodchild. Now Tommy Spencer, heavy touch. Piddington obliges.
Yeah, Spencer, they were in there. The heavy touch sort of just took the ball away from him. Otherwise, Bird was one-on-one again.
Finlayson was in hard, and referee decides that That is a bit reckless.
Yeah, the game's starting to get a bit physical again, so the referee needs to keep control of this.
It's Andrew Swan. He plays the flick for Goodchild. Griffiths does well.
Yeah, Griffiths done tremendous there. Goodchild was feeling him, knew which way he was going to turn, but Griffiths played against Goodchild many times and sort of took the ball off his foot.
So while we've got a free kick smudge, I'm seeing some football legends, some ex-KB United players down there, and Keith Harris and Trevor Smythe enjoying the sun. Only recognise them through the dual grey hairdos. Graham Hill's next to them, but I think Steve Dorman, and past that my eyes aren't good enough. So there's good support and great old boys getting in over to see the games, and isn't that great to see a couple of generations on?
Bradbury tries to slide the ball through. Suspect the flag might have gone up anyway if it had have made its way through. Haynes now. He's got Bradbury again. And now Haynes has a go from distance.
Oh,
Away.
he'll be wishing he had that one again, Peter Haynes, because that just fell for him beautifully, and he had the opportunity to pick his spot and take it, and he's just unfortunately left-footed, just put it slightly over the bar.
I think for Olympic here, they just need to take a big, deep breath, get back into the rhythm of the game, get the foot on the ball, start knocking it around, because the momentum at the moment is slightly favouring Magic.
So Hill gets to that one first, and he'll send Bradbury on his way, who's got behind his man. Keeper's favouring that situation. He spilt it over Gilly, over the bar as well.
Well, there's calls for penalties coming everywhere from Broadmeadow, and they should at least apply the question. Be interesting to see that one on replay.
See if we can get it. There's a change taking place meanwhile. Lawrence Fotef has been injected into this game to see out the final half an hour or near enough to. I'll just try and work out who it was that came off. I think it might have been, no, Finlayson's on the pitch at the moment still. It's a process of elimination. We'll work it out in a sec. He looks like he's maybe taken up the right back position, but that's...
Yeah, it's like for like, Dan. Right fullback for a right fullback.
Okay, so it's Barber that's gone off, is it?
Some experience there from Peter Haynes. He was certainly knocked over, but he knew it was time to settle the option for the quick kick to come on. Smudge doesn't want a piece of that. Hold the ball, settle down. Let's get set up and get the thing in the box.
Hill's been dangerous from set pieces so far. It's another good one. Oh, Pennington just couldn't quite get high enough.
Look, you know what? If that goes in, almost going to put it down. A great delivery from the Hill, of course, but the experience of Haynes to set that up and give them opportunity. That was inches away, Smudge.
Absolute tremendous ball by Hill. But you know what? If Denny Olin was in goals, he would have came out and grabbed that. Tommy Pullen, he's getting under a bit of pressure at the moment. He's been superb today. However, Magic just put him under pressure with some set pieces.
Just started again. Goodchild goes searching for it and does knot it down, but Kandarovski's first to it. Bradbury, a little chip, won't get as far as he liked. Vigili was waiting. Instead, Kandarovski comes up with it again, and now he finds Bradbury, who's been sent wide. Look back. Spread all the way across. It's Finlayson. Clash of bodies. Referees fine to let that go as well. Haynes has a go. Shot is blocked. Fotef, the new man. And then James Vigili, who beats one, beats a couple into the area. Hodges has done well.
He's been tremendous again today, Hodges. God, he's a good player.
Good hold-up work
I agree. I thought that was a
Bertos.
foul.
Yeah.
Finlayson was holding on to Bertos the whole time, so I definitely agree that was a foul.
I was going to mention before, well, in fact, I did mention before, it'd be great to get Finlayson on the ball a bit more. And that was in the first half and probably midway through the first half, I think. Now he's been all on the ball, and you know what? They're getting him in those channels and holes that we were talking about before. He's getting balls to feet, he's getting balls behind. The more they can get him involved, because we've got the weapon in Vigili on the other side, he's doing his job over this side. The pair of them now helping that momentum swing Smudge.
Good job, brings it down. Spencer, though, can't do the same. Heavy touch, and it's cleared. Cooper looks wide for Mooney. Mooney manages to beat Fotev. It's Haynes to
He's
James
offside,
Vigili,
yeah.
but the flag is raised.
Robert Vigili down there just asking James Cleal who is offside in a nice, calm and polite way.
Oh, yeah, he's very calm and polite about all of that. The Magic fans here are blowing up because they believe Swan's asked the question, the linesman put his flag up, and that's about what Vigili's... And it looks like he's just been sent, Smudge.
Yeah, Robert Vigili pretty frustrated with that call. We couldn't really see from up here if he was on or offside. But, yeah, Vigili politely and calmly telling James Cleal, who's on the bench, that asking him where the offside was. So Vigili's gone to the showers for an early break so he can watch up, probably having a beer in the clubhouse.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he'd be too worried about that if he's looking to probably just calm himself down so he doesn't do anything stupid. But this game's got a ton of feeling in it right now, and there's action as you just say. But you know where it went a little bit flat earlier, Daniel. Now it's not so flat, is it?
No, it's basically been the whole half. Broadmeadow came out with an intent. They've really tried to make a nuisance of themselves. I think that goal only gave them more energy as well to really go after this one. They really need another to try and sort of square things up or nudge them ahead in the tie, given that Hamilton Olympic have the away goal. Bertos takes the free kick now. It's in deep. Spencer nearly had the header on it. Simon Mooney now has it. He puts it back over. It's helped along by Kantarovski, but Olympic come up with it again. They'll try a third time. Back to Bertos. And then Cooper. Wasn't the best ball. He was under pressure. Spencer comes up with it. They found a way in here. This is Swan. Bertos.
That's well played by Olympic, just holding the ball.
Looks for Goodchild. Strong challenge. Cooper comes up with it again. He'll try the chip over. It's misdirected. Straight into the breadbasket of Hartnett.
Yeah, I think Magic just need to put their foot on it as well. The game's lifted in intensity. Everything's been a little bit rushed. They just need to get the foot on the ball, knock the ball around.
First change for Olympic. Maybe coming. It's Ben Coyner that will come on.
Is that a good game today, Tommy Spence? Ben Coyner on for Tommy Spence. This is like for like. Coyner will just sit in the midfield. Or actually, it looks like Coyner's going a little bit deeper where Reece Cooper was, and they're pushing Reece Cooper on to sit just in front. Just in front of the deep two midfielders in Bertos and Coyner.
And Coyner gets his first touch now. Big up and under. Matthew Swan. Try and bring it down. He gets Daniel Bird, but Luke Vigili does well. And back to Piddington, who sees a run from Finlayson, but Hodges did as well. Rebounds into the arms of Pullen.
Smudge, typically in a game like this, if it was a regular competition game, you'd see the teams wanting to, like we spoke about before, get on the ball, start to keep possession, stroke it around. This is anything but. This is like played at pace. Everything's done really quickly. They're trying to get in the other end as quick as they can, open up some opportunities where they can, and just try and make something happen.
It's Goodchild. He's just dropped a little bit deeper and late to try and get involved. He's getting involved now. He's brought it into the area. Tries the cross, draws the corner.
Yeah, I like when Goodchild comes into play. Even if he drops a little bit deeper, gets the ball, play it into him. He can hold the ball up. He can take players on. That time he was able to face forward, and Piddington did well to defend him. There's the McGregor-Diaz fight. It looks all square today so far.
This is great. It's all set up for me to use a knockout blow line. Anyway, we'll wait for the corner from Bertos.
Bertos spin towards goal.
Oh, and that's off the post. Kandarovsky, I think it was, nearly an Oni. And then I thought maybe to clatter off the second one or a man, but somehow stayed out.
Certainly looked like came off Kandarovsky or may have been photo. I'm not sure. Towards an Oggy. We've got Finlayson coming off the park.
We'll get another look at that in just a moment. In fact, we do now. Yeah, Kandarovsky got the final touch there and put it onto the upright.
Yeah, I think Canada forgot they turned around at half time. So, but Magic very lucky there. Just for Finlayson. Finlayson's virtually been out all year with a knee injury, and he only came back last week and had some minutes off the bench, I think. So Virgili's gave him a rest after 60 minutes, and Paul Shikawi's come on now, who's been great for Magic this year.
Yeah, we've seen Shikawi come in against Edgeworth, and he did a great job there a few weeks ago. Created some real problems, and that was the day that Haynes came off, and he came on in place. And
yeah, the Zambian.
Excuse me. The impact that he'll have will be interesting because he provides a lot of energy and go forward.
Good child again, and Piddington right up in behind him, but he's managed to get a ball out of there. Cooper will try and chase this down. Griffiths, great challenge, sliding in, ball and all. He may have stung Cooper a bit there. Piddington now.
Cooper has been hurt there, but it was a great tackle from Piddington. Terrific tackle.
Cody Lucas goes back to his goalkeeper.
I think it was Johnny Griffin made the tackle. It was a great, well-timed tackle. Cooper's a bit hurt, I think. Got up gingerly, slowly coming back into the field of play. I like the move. What Bolch has done is putting Reece Cooper in behind the two. He can make runs beyond the strikers, so beyond Goodchild. So good move by Bolch, and we've seen it then. Cooper's made the run beyond the Magic's defence, and a great ball over, and he had a chance, but Johnny Griff actually made a great challenge.
There is Shikawa with the header. Lucas gets to it first, and then Pullen clears upfield. And back to Shikawa. He's beaten one, but then Cooper was across to help. So
Cooper did tremendous then.
Appears to be moving relatively freely now as well, which is important for Olympic. Coiner. That's good child again.
Oh, good child. That was tremendous.
He's found Bird now. Mooney's waiting in the centre. Another great challenge. This time Piddington recovers.
That was well done by Goodchild. God, he's got great balance for a big fella. He must be nearing 100 kilos, but I'll tell you what, he's got pace as well.
If he's 100 kilos, I'm not sitting here. Mooney.
Ball in Coiner, reaching back for it. Couldn't quite get the power. Bird has a go into a red shirt, though. Lucas tries to put it back in, but he can't. Now here's a chance. Had to go first time, though. Virgili was on the run. Just had to check that. Huttins.
Yeah, so James Virgili there, he's just running right on the shoulder of the Olympics players and bordering in and out of offside, and at the moment was ready to go. He was offside. Swan's being called back. Ignored the linesman and gotten away with it with the referee.
Now to Matthew Swan. Bertos. Cooper. Good child. Piddington is strong again.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed that battle. Piddington and Goodchild today. I suppose Goodchild's had the two of them, Griffiths and Pinnington, so...
Mooney throwing himself about there. Haynes comes up with it now. And his tag team, but still Kandarovski. Looks for Bradbury. He was offside.
Yeah, I'm unsure about that one as well. Olympic back on
Carrying
the
on
ball.
with Bird. He's drawn two. Now he comes back to Matthew Swan. Coiner. Bird again. It's Cooper. He's being held back there. He's got himself free now. As Cooper. Ball comes in. Couple went down. Piddington, I think, and Goodchild in a tangle.
Yeah, Coiner with the wrong option there. He had support on the right-hand side of the park. And unlucky for Mooney, if that one had popped back out deeper for him, he was certainly on hand to tap something in.
Here's Bradbury. Chikalway and Hoole. He leaves it for Vigili. Vigili again. Hodges' clearance doesn't really go far, so instead it's Fotef. Mooney gets the ball and then takes a shove.
I'm not sure about that. Direct foul, Simon Mooney being brought down. Anyways, play on.
Bradbury, heavy touch. Swan gets in there, takes it off him. Now it's Burtos. Mooney is looking a bit ginger after that challenge. He gets rid of it straight away. He won't get it through to Goodchild though. He's Fotef again. And Kandarovski.
Yeah, that challenge on Mooney, that's hurt him.
That one's found Haynes. First time cross, it's just over the head of Bradbury. Not cleared. Chikalway has a go. Swan makes up for it, throws a leg at it. Luke Vigili, Chikalway. And returned through the back heel. He's trying to trick. Swan is having nothing of it. But Vigili comes up with it again. And still the men in red, Olympic, struggling to get a hold of the football. Goodchild now. And Burtos. And back to Goodchild. Mooney still doesn't want to see the ball at the moment. He's not in a good way. It's with Haynes. Lucas with the head, and then Hodges as well, and Lucas has to mop up. Michael Kandarovski.
Olympics just dropped off a little bit here. They just better be careful.
It's out to Haynes. Crosses low. Lucas deals with it pretty easily. Drops just underneath us. And we'll have a change. Second change for Hamilton Olympic. So it looks like it'll be Daniel Bird, the goal scorer for Olympic. He will head to the showers now, and he's replaced by Matthew Miners. Haynes. Plenty of attention. Has taken a touch on the way through. Bradbury didn't realise he tried to keep it in, so it'll just be a throw-in instead for Magic. Still waiting a while here for the throw. I'm not sure why now it comes. Haynes again. Managed to get it in, finds Chikalway, who turns and shoots, and Lucas has a foot in the way.
We talk about momentum, TC, and the momentum just at the moment is favouring Magic. Olympic need to be careful. I thought Olympic had a tremendous first half and probably could have been an extra goal up, but Magic has, I think, it's just shaded in the second half.
Corner comes in from Hoole. Goes deep. Piddington nods it back towards goal. Coiner got a foot on it. Swan got a head on it. It's still not cleared. Hoole will try and knock it back in. He does. Shikawa goes first time. Took a touch. I think it was Bertos that got a foot in.
Bertos got the foot in. I'll tell you what, Paulie Shikawa was in a great position there. First time on his right might have been better option, but he let the ball come across his body, tried to hit it left, and Bertos got a touch.
Olympic are in trouble here. They're taking on water. Broadmeadow can sense there's another goal out there. It's not the best corner. Shikawa comes down with it. And it's back out to Matthew Hoole, who puts it back in there. Hodges got a touch. It's going to drop just over the bar.
This is desperation from Olympic right now, and Hodges doing that type of touch. He just knows he's got to get something on it and just trust the keeper's got it covered in pulling. What Magic are in doing here now is they're just applying full pressure. If there's a time, it's now.
And also they're keeping their 3 players at the back.
In again. Lucas, I think, had the head on it. Bertos helps it on. Mooney was staying high. Bertos releases Goodchild. He sent him a bit wide, though. Give Broadmeadow the chance to recover. Look at that. James Virgili tracking back now to help out his brother.
Yeah, both sides desperate for a result today. This is where Cooper's dangerous.
Chikawe and then Haynes.
Magic just looking to come back into the other end for territory, but right now Olympic are just breathing a sigh of relief and just catching their breath after that onslaught.
It's Luke Virgili. Oh, that's not a bad ball in. Bradbury might go to goal here. Cal Bradbury puts Broadmeadow in front.
Well, what a great finish from Bradbury. He's been in the second half. We spoke about it earlier. He's a bit quiet the first half, and then he's been on the ball. He's on the end of one of those through balls we're talking about earlier, and the crowd are going absolutely nuts underneath us as the Magic players reassemble themselves out of that mosh pit, coming back into the middle of the park. Wow, Damien, at half-time, it was 2-0 down, or should have been, and now Magic 2-1 up. Who's picked that?
Oh, exactly right. Well, like we said, just on our time, Luke Virgili has saved the tie for Broadmeadow Magic. The make it just go losing 1-0 at half time. But like we said earlier in the game, you need to get Virgili and Bradbury in one-on-one situations. He's one-on-one again. He got past Cody Lucas, got past the goalkeeper. And like we said, the momentum was going with Broadmeadow Magic. Olympic was starting to sit a little bit deeper and was just holding on, like we said.
We'll take another look at it as Bradbury got played in behind. Talk us through it, boys.
Looked like Goodchild had a late challenge on I think it's on Lawrence Fodef. Goodchild, a late challenge. He picks up the yellow card. To be honest, I didn't see it.
No, we couldn't get a replay on that one because we were still on the replay from the goal. So all happening here at Magic Park. Didn't see that one at all. Smudge, talk us through that one?
I actually didn't see it either, TC. So I was looking the other way trying to see the replay, but couldn't see the replay either. So I think Goodchild came in late on Lawrence Fodef, and Goodchild's picked up the yellow.
Okay, so we've been going a bit over 38 minutes. There's no way this game is finished yet, and there's still opportunities and goals coming potentially. So Goodchild just revving up the troops a little bit. Hodges has had a great game. He's got to make sure that his team stay focused on the job and scoring some goals here. And you know what? Maybe this is the opportunity where Olympic get into the territory of Magic and get in there deep as often as they can. Magic may sit in a little bit to allow them to do that. I can't imagine Smudge that Magic will be overly going for goals. It may take a slightly more conservative approach.
I agree. After the first half, if they come away with a 2-1 victory leading into the second tie, they would be stoked.
Pullen picks that one up.
But yeah, if I was Magic, I wouldn't overcommit too many players with only 5 minutes to go. Because that means Olympic have to win next week.
Yeah, well, Magic have got something to work with now despite the away goal. James Virgili is in space now. He'll look for the cutback. He's got a couple waiting. Goes again. It's come across. Oh, they just do enough. Hodges, I think, should Carway. Hodges is in the way again. Hool on the turn. Now it's Kandarovsky. Hodges heads out again.
This is
it's
just
frantic.
Awesome entertainment here.
Taken quickly. Peter Haynes. Cross comes in. It's across the face. There's no one waiting for it. Back stick.
Oh, look, this is what it's all about. This is why we turn up, isn't it? This is why the crowd's here today. You get entertainment like this in the local football. We're just loving it right now. And Magic have just been heaping on the pressure in this second half. And it'll be interesting to see, Smudge, how and what Olympic are going to do in this last 5 minutes to scramble back another goal to level it up.
Well, one thing Olympic don't want to do is concede again. If they concede again, Magic go a 3-1 ahead leading to the second tie. I think it will be difficult next week for Olympic.
Bertos.
Great turn by Goodchild. Goodchild and Pennington again. They've been superb tonight.
Yeah, this afternoon. But anyway, what's interesting about Goodchild is that, you see him at back ends of the games like this. He's literally got one leg over the other. He looks like he's still buzzing. Mooney on the ball with the cross.
There's a scramble in the goal area. It's Miners now. He puts it back in. It's over the head of Goodchild. He'll still have a chance here. Piddington still can't clear. Now they do. Matthew Swan's herring after it.
It's exactly what we're expecting. Exactly what we're expecting, Magic just to sit in a fraction and just guard that lead. I mean, they still want another goal, of course. Piddington looks like he's been injured and calling for some attention, so he's genuinely, and he's not the sort of guy that's going to go down unless he's hurt. And this will be interesting to see what has happened to him, because if he does actually have an injury that's beyond today, Damien, wouldn't that be a blow for Broadmeadow to have him out of the team next week?
Oh, I agree, but Pitto's Pitto. You know what Pitto's like. He'll be back playing. Even if he had a broken leg next week, he'll strap it up somehow and continue to play. So, looking at him right now, he looks fine. Yep, he's putting weight through his legs, so he's having a bit of a jog, so he should be fine. I think Magic at the moment just need to probably lock this game out for my liking. I wouldn't push numbers too forward. If I was Olympic, I'd be the same. You want to get a draw out of this now or try and get another goal. However, you do not want to concede another goal.
No, and it's almost like taking a bit of a punt on this one for Olympic. You've really got to take a chance. You can't, for me, you don't want to be going in anything other than at least a draw next week.
Actually, I disagree. I think Olympic's a big chance at home.
Oh, Goodchild lashes one. Side netting.
I think Olympic's a very big chance at home. They're very hard to beat at home, but they don't want to be chasing a 2-goal deficit. That's the thing. So, but after the first half, I think Mick Boss will be a little bit disappointed that they are losing 2-1 because the first half Olympic did dominate. However, Magic's been the better in the second half.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think if Magic come away with this, they'll feel like they've absolutely earned it. Mooney on the ball, especially after that first half, where, look, it appeared to me, Smudge, that Olympic were on top and doing well. And just quickly, it's great to see other players from the clubs. Western old boy Robbie Turnbull's having a watch this afternoon, amongst others, I'm sure, and he's enjoying the commentary.
We'll have another change for the Magic now. Ben Higgins is waiting on the sideline.
This is definitely a defensive move. Looks like they've taken Peter Haynes off for the last few minutes. Higgins is coming in. They're really trying to sew this game up, Magic. Like I said, they're going to be happy with a 2-1 result today going into the second tie, if they can hold on.
Look, obviously Coach Virgili's inside having a lemonade, but it's a smart move from Newmov bringing this move of Higgins coming to the side, because he's got a lot of energy. He's a great defender, and he knows when to get the thing out of play as it's required.
And just on Peter Haynes, I thought Peter Haynes was a little bit quiet in the first half, but he's had a great second half. He's really come into himself, scored a goal. Yeah, and he had a great second half. Just on that, looks like Higgins has just come deep in the midfield. They're just trying to clog the midfield up, just not to give Olympic any space.
Bertos intercepts the ball, and he'll go long. Piddington remains composed, and then Mooney flies high. This might be play on. No. Referee decides that he will bring that back.
Yeah, we're only literally seconds out of regular time, and oh gee, I tell you what, the Broadmeadow fans here would be just loving the fact that they've gotten away with. Well, I won't say gotten away with. They've worked very hard to get a 2-1 result as it stands at this minute against an Olympic side that are very, very capable.
And the other thing is, it's an Olympic side that are undefeated. They haven't lost a game all year, so this could be their first loss of the year. I know it's not in regular season.
Oh, Mooney just cops a nudge from Piddington. Yeah, would be first loss for them in the NPL this season. Of course, they've lost the one competitive match in that FFA Cup qualifier against Lambton, but in league competition, and now, of course, into the finals. This would be their first defeat. Oh.
And the Magic fans are not going to be happy with that. But for me, Damien, he was across the line without seeing the replay before the ball was struck. So we might be able to get another look at that one on the replay. We're just going to have a look at
with
that
Andrew
now.
Swan. So let's have a look.
Oh, gee, it was very, very tight. Very tight. Look, the other thing is here that that both sides have worked terrifically today. I mean, if you had to go and have a look at Top Better this morning to see what the prices were paying Smudge, wouldn't be much in it. $1.85 each, I'd be saying, and that's the game we've had this afternoon. Virgili's just outpaced Swan there, and we're looking at this one-on-one scenario.
James Virgili will try and cut in now. Still Virgili. Oh, and just couldn't quite keep his footing. It's Kantarovsky. He just takes it to the corner flag. Hodges and Coyner have followed, and they've come up with it.
Oh, I guess I'm going to call that one tough but fair, and Robbie Turnbull's a bit like that, isn't he? Just mentioned him before. He's got no problems with that, sitting at home watching Bar TV, and I think Olympic is just showing their intent. They're right up for this. Bertos back on the ball.
So we're 2 minutes into stoppage time now, and Olympic are chasing an equaliser. They have a free kick now and a chance to drop the ball into a dangerous area.
Just pure intention here. Hodges moving forward into the box. He wants a piece of it. There's no one at home, no one forward for Magic except for Virgili.
It just drops it in, penalty spot. Hartnett is out to it. Matthew Swan winds up, and it didn't sit for him, and Shikawe gets in the way. He puts it anywhere. It's straight to Lucas, though. If they can get it in there, they can maybe have one more chance. Bertos is on the ball again. It has to be now for Olympic. Miners. Across to Cooper. Reese Cooper, he goes himself.
Gets plenty on it, Daniel, but he just put that one over the bar. And Magic's like they breathe a sigh of relief right now, and maybe they should be too. They've worked very, very hard, Smudge, to get a result here today, and pulling out with a 2-1 victory is tremendous for Broadmeadow.
Yeah, totally agree. And you know what? Where all the work was done, and it was the halftime talk probably by Virgili and Newmoff. I spoke to Virgili when he walked out, and he said he revved the hell out of the boys because they weren't good enough in the first half, and they weren't, and they were lucky to go down 1-0. But second half, Magic they've been great for their money. The second half, Magic, a lot better intensity.
Oh, here's another chance. Bit too much on it though. Pullen's out to it.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, Smudge, because when they came out, they definitely looked like they just had a bit of a clip around the ears, like a little dog when you get him home, he's not doing the right thing. And that's what Virgili and Newmov would have done for sure, if in fact you've said that. So they've come out looking a different side. Next week's, I mean, this game's not, the whistle hasn't blown, even though the Magic fans are calling for it, but next week's going to be very interesting as well, isn't it?
Good child. Too many to try and get past there. is James Virgili. They've got numbers forward. It's 3-on-3. James Virgili with the ball across. Here's a chance. Bradbury! Cale Bradbury doubles the lead for Broadmeadow Magic right at the death.
And as Damien Smith says, they're on here. Absolutely, they were on. They had numbers coming forward. We spoke about Bradbury earlier, Smudge. He's been in the right position at the right time, and what a ball in.
Like I said, as soon as the ball went forward, I said to TC, they're in here. I knew they were in. Virgili, one-on-one. He's been one-on-one all first half and second half. Great ball in for a tap in for Cale Bradbury. James Virgili's been superb in his comeback.
Here's another look at it. It's James Virgili with the ball across. It was a perfect ball. And Bradbury, a well-timed run, smacks it into the back of the net. And Broadmeadow now, they are well in control of this tie.
It seemed like Virgili, he's just got himself into a position. He's played a ball in. It didn't even look like he had a look. And he's just trusted that someone's going to be there. And who's going to be there is Bradbury. He's been on fire in the second half. And there it is, full time.
Referee calls time. Broadmeadow have pulled off a great comeback. They looked out of it at half-time. They were kept in the proceedings with a goal line clearance from Luke Virgili, but now they will take a 2-goal lead back to Darling Street next Saturday night. We'll get thoughts from Damien Smith first.
Oh, Dan, I totally agree. I tell you what, Luke Virgili saved this tie for Olympic right on the bell, right at half-time. A clearance off the line, and only to go down 1-0 at half-time. But whatever Virgili and Newmoff said at half-time really woke Magic up in the second half, and I thought they were way better in the second half. Had a few more chances than Olympic. Olympic had a few chances as well. But to be honest, James Virgili, after being out for 4 or 5 weeks, he injured his shoulder last time he played Olympic here, was superb. Absolutely superb. And Magic are celebrating. I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for Olympic next week, but don't write them off.
Yeah, totally agree. And what a finish to the game that was. I mean, I was almost calling it the game over before it had finished, thinking it was going to finish at 2-1. And I mentioned just a couple of minutes before full time about what next week sets up at 2-1. Now it's 3-1. And to be honest, Olympic are still going to have a real good show at this at home. They're going to have all their supporters there. It'll be a good game. And if anyone thinks that it's all over with a 3-1 at Broadmeadow today, you'd be mistaken, because Olympic got plenty to show, and they showed that with potentially could be other than a Virgili clearance 2-0 at half-time. So can't wait for next week, and should be great fun then.
You got a man of the match for us, boys?
Look, for me, I thought he was quiet in the first half, only because he wasn't getting the ball in Bradbury. But I really liked the way his runs were, the timings of his runs. Sure, there's some goals in there, whatever. But just the way that the balls were played into channels for him, and the way that he got in behind the defence and caused problems for them all the time. Hodges has been fantastic all year, and also, Good Child has been great up front. And Lucas did a good job today, but, for me, I can't go past Bradbury's man of the match today, Smudge.
Yeah, I agree, TC. I thought Olympic had some great players. We spoke about Good Child before. Reece Kipper and Burdos were good in the centre of the park. Kyle Hodges and Cody Lucas were very good at the back for Olympic. However, Magic, I thought Peter Haynes' second half was good. Peter Haynes' second half. I thought his first half, he wasn't really in the game. Second half, he was a lot better. Cale Bradbury was very strong. James Virgili, for me, he hasn't played for 5 weeks. That's his first game back, and his shoulder's still not 100%, and I thought he looked dangerous all the time. And he would have built confidence from that. And I just want to touch on Pennington. I thought Pennington and Johnny Griff versus Good Child today was a great tussle. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah, totally agree. And good players, all over the park. You could mention half a dozen for Olympic in the first half in particular. Same for Magic in the second half. And obviously great coaching at half-time from Broadmeadow coaches to rev the sides back up. Same deal from me. Look forward to next week, and we'll catch up with you then.
So just to recap how we got here before we go, it was Daniel Bird that opened the scoring for Hamilton Olympic in the 36th minute. We thought maybe they were going to double that lead on the stroke of half-time, but for some great work from Luke Virgili, a goal line clearance. Peter Haynes squared things up from the set piece in the 50th minute. There was controversy about 15 minutes later when Robert Virgili was sent to the stands before Cale Bradbury put Broadmeadow ahead for the first time at the 82nd minute mark. And then 5 minutes into stoppage time, He got on the end of an excellent ball from James Virgili to deliver a hammer blow and give Broadmeadow a 3-1 win in this first leg. Return legs coming up next Saturday live on Bar TV. Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Check our Facebook page for deets on that closer to the day. But full time here at Magic Park on Bar TV Sports, thanks to Top Better. First leg of the semi-final tie. Final score, Broadmeadow Magic 3, Hamilton Olympic 1. Bye for now.